Two guys who truly have been through hell and back, and two legends, two OGs in this one. Me very excited to get your perspective on this one. We got immortal Matt Brown taking on Court the Crusher McGee, and right away I was a little bit surprised by the odds in this one. Court McGee is a minus 210 favorite. Immortal Brown is plus 175, and I get it. I mean, Matt Brown has lost three of his last four. The last fight was against Brian Barberena, and that was a fight of the night. It was a split decision, a very close competitive fight, and Barberena is a guy who is always in close fights in this division, so no real shame in that. And then he picked up that really nice finish win over Diego Ligma, performance of the night. But before that, it was two losses. He got slept by Baeza in a fight where he actually did threaten Baeza early, but ultimately started to fade. And then Carlos Condit kind of bodied him as well. So it's been a little bit of a difficult spell for Matt Brown. And we obviously know the guy is a legend. He's got the most finishes in welterweight history and a true OG of the game. And he's taking on Court McGee, who is basically kind of an OG as well, right? This is the tough season 11 winner. And I know he's been 500 historically in the UFC and even 10-10. And he did just get absolutely slept by Jeremiah Wells most recently. And I want to get your thoughts on that one because it didn't look good, right? It was within basically the first 90 seconds, and it seemed like Court McGee was trying to measure and maintain distance and was just absolutely surprised by the length and just the heavy power shot that Jeremiah Wells landed on him because he put him out cold. And I haven't really seen Court the Crusher get slept cold like that in quite a long time because when this guy does lose, it usually is on the wrong end of decisions, and when he wins, he's likely going to win decisions as well. So, what do you make of him getting finished very violently, very recently? And do you think Matt Brown can do something similar as a plus 175 dog, or do you envision Court McGee going back to the wrestling well and exploiting Matt Brown's weaknesses there and grinding his way to a decision? Who do you take?
Yeah, I know that's such a great point. He did get his soul sent to the shadow room from Jeremiah Wells, and man, that's gotta take a toll on him. Like I just can't imagine that he's made a full immaculate recovery, and he's got an iron chin once again. So I think with these odds, it's kind of skewed in my opinion. Like it should be a pick 'em. This is gonna be such a close fight in my opinion, but clearly everyone else doesn't see it that way, but I gotta go with Immortal Matt Brown because with these odds, that's just juicy for the taking. So I see it's 50-50. I like Immortal. I like that the Crusher got finished brutally, and typically, especially at this age, when you get finished like that, you're never the same. He might be more timid. He could come out savager than ever. I just don't see it, and I gotta go with the odds. Gotta go with my gut. The Immortal. Getting it done. Decision.
No, I feel you on that 100%. And I mean, I guess the only point that we could address regarding the Wells knockout was it was basically a year ago, right? It was June of last year. So, in theory, perhaps Court McGee has had enough time to rest and recover and is coming into this one with a more crimson chin, much unlike Drew Dover last week. And perhaps he's able to grind out a decision. And if he does, Tapology is pretty bullish on that being his best pathway, right? Because 43% is rolling with the Crusher, and it's basically all beige. So it seems to me that they think he will get some takedowns. Matt Brown will be able to survive on the ground, but ultimately won't get TKO'd and or submitted. And McGee picks up a decision. But like you said, he's the dog plus 175, that being Matt Brown. But he's garnering a majority of Tapology, and there's a lot of Brown. In fact, it's a majority Brown for a Brown KO. So you said Matt Brown by decision. Do you see any world, coupled with the McGee getting knocked out recently, coupled with Brown having the most finishes in welterweight history, do you see a world where Immortal Matt Brown maybe puts out Court McGee?
Yeah, I mean, if he does, that would be very fascinating, but I don't know. I just think these are two older absolute legends of the game. I think this is going to be a grimy war decision. It wouldn't surprise me if there's a finish, but I don't know. It'll be very fascinating if either one of these guys have that pep to their punches and kicks still to really put someone out. I think this is gonna be a little bit of a veteran display of a nice war. So I think it does go decision, but maybe.
Yeah, I feel on that for sure, and a nice veteran war for sure. And the fight right after this that we're about to break down with Tim Means is much of the same as well. But nonetheless, I'm with you all the way. I'm taking Matt Immortal Brown in this one. Maybe he picks up a late finish, but I got to be honest, I am a little bit nervous that Court McGee will avoid the stand up and just think, okay, I just got absolutely slept by a meat bomb last time, and I'm not going to allow that to happen because Matt Brown does have a tendency to get taken down pretty easily. I mean, guys who aren't even really strong offensive grappling, offensive wrestling fighters have been able to hold and take down Matt Brown. So I worry about that if Court McGee decides to go back there. But in the end, I'm going to go with this being a veteran war, and I'm hopeful that Matt Brown can land some early shots, win the first round. Maybe he'll end up getting taken down late first and then early second and dropping that round. But when it's a do or die, all or nothing round three, I'm going to take Matt Immortal Brown to find a way to dig deep, get violent, and ultimately grind out a decision over Crusher McGee. So I'm with you all the way, seeing it the exact same way. Love plus 175, Immortal Matt Brown. Any last thoughts?
No, 100%. Throw in the comments, who are you taking? You taking the Crusher or the Immortal?